On the surface, Vanilla Shores is looking super successful. We have expanded massively to develop loads and loads of different communities. However, all you have to do is zoom to some of these communities and you will notice they are looking pretty empty. Beyond that, all you have to do is take a look at our demand, and we are not getting any residential or commercial demand. And so I had to start to think as to why that was happening. We have fantastic educational services, we have got loads of potential residential areas that people can be moving into. Lots and lots of desirable space. However, there is something very, very important that we are currently suffering from, and that is unemployment. Lots and lots of unemployment. It has skyrocketed over the last few episodes where we just have not been focusing enough on providing the people moving in here with enough jobs. And so we are going to be working on that today. Considering we've got industrial demand and considering that we have got our eyes turned in this direction to probably covering these islands with a lot of polluting industry, that is exactly what we're going to be focusing on today. So stay tuned and let's build an industrial heartland for our city. Now, if we zoom out a little bit and take a look at these islands over here, and we start to look at the natural resources that are available here, you will notice that we have quite a bit of fertile land. However, all you have to do is uncheck this box and you will notice that we have a hell of a lot of beautiful sweet oil also available under that fertile land. And considering we have got ourselves loads and loads of fertile land around the rest of the map, I think we will be good to focus on some oil drilling in this area. Beyond that, we have got loads and loads of ore as well, which is going to come very, very much in handy within this industrial area that we're going to be developing. We have been developing our garbage island right on an ore deposit as well. However, there's not really much we can do about that for the time being. We can actually develop some ore mines around our current garbage island, although I don't really want to be saturating this island too much with mining, considering we might want to be expanding our garbage capabilities at some point in the future. But first things first, if we're going to be developing this into an industrial heartland, we are going to need some tiles. So let's zoom out a little bit and we are going to purchase 1 tile here, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to unlock this entire area here. We've got ourselves a beautiful highway coming through here already, but we're going to get rid of it for the time being purely because, well, we're going to have to be planning a bit more meticulously, I think, how we're actually going to manage all of this space. Now, taking a look at this, considering this tip right over here has literally got no kind of natural resources for specialist industry, I think it's probably a decent place to actually begin our highway road, which very conveniently is where our highway begins. And I think it makes a lot of sense as well because we don't really want to be connecting it to any highways too near our garbage industry or our downtown, because I think that would just be causing loads and loads of traffic issues in the long term. But what we have to consider is what this road is going to lead to. Okay, it's going to lead to these islands for our specialist industry, but what else is it going to lead to? Because for me personally, if we just take a little look at where our wind is going, it is all going in this direction here. And part of me is thinking, what a cool idea would it be for us to actually create some kind of artificial island here, or maybe one over here considering the wind direction, and create an artificial industrial island like you get sometimes in the Far East. Now, I want to have this map on, so I'm making sure I'm not actually sort of creating roads directly into any of our precious land that we're going to start mining into. But if we do something kind of like this, for example, and then we're going to stick, let's go for nothing too big. Let's go for just like a medium roundabout. Actually, you know what? Considering like big vehicles are going to be coming here, let's go for a large roundabout. And I think we're going to have 3 highway break-off connections. We're going to have one that comes up along here and then eventually takes you to this very long island down here. We're going to have another highway connection that takes you straight to our ore deposits around here, and then another highway that's going to really skirt as much as possible along this coastline. That's then going to take you all the way to our ore deposits in this direction. Now, considering the way our ore is currently placed around here, I think having a connecting road like along the least dense area probably makes a lot of sense. And so perhaps what we should be doing to start off with is building these things along here. And I suppose kind of just following the contour lines. I mean, this road is not going to end up being here anymore, but we're going to try to take it as close to the water as possible. I know it's probably going to result in a fair bit of pollution, but we can't really do much about that for the time being. And we're just going to kind of draw it around like this and then just connect it up along here. And then we're going to do something very similar here, making sure we come right up the coast where we can. And then for this one, we're probably going to put a little bit more central so we still get as much of the beautiful blue coast that you can see over here. Although it does mean we're going to have to neglect this beautiful blue channel over here so that we actually have an access road in for these guys, which is going to be really, really annoying because this is perfect, beautiful ore deposits. But again, you can't really do much about that, I suppose. And then I think we're going to do something pretty similar over here. And we've now got 4 absolutely immense and massive plots here for our ore industry. And so we're going to redirect this road ever so slightly to kind of come along here instead. And we are basically going to shift this highway now onto a normal road. And we are going to now stick another little roundabout and branch off a dirt path, which is then going to kind of connect all the way up along here. We're going to have this long, long dirt path coming into this industry over here, one along there. And I think that's looking okay. We're going to sort of be dealing with textures a little bit later on in the episode, so don't you worry about that if you're thinking about the fact that this is quite a stark contrast to the beautiful green we've got. That's going to change, so don't you worry. Now, whilst we're still on the topic of ore, we've got a little bit over here as well. And we've been doing a lot of ore mining, obviously, in this whole area. However, we do have the ability to mine coal as well. We don't have any kind of coal power plants in this area. We might build one at some point just for a bit of redundancy, but I do want us to be creating quite a green community. And so that's why I've put all of this ore mining here specifically for ore. However, I do want to kind of diversify a little bit, and I think this small plot over here will be perfect for some coal. And so we're going to remove this road just ever so slightly so we can maximize the amount of coal that we are mining now. Even though we don't have a coal power plant as such, we still have loads of industry that probably burn coal for power and stuff. So having some kind of coal mine here will provide us with some diversification, which is obviously very, very important for the longevity of a successful and independent city. And so why don't we bring this highway along our beautiful coast that we have probably polluted forever now. I don't think we're going to need a roundabout as such for this small coal mine, but just having a dirt path that connects on will probably do the job quite nicely. And now that's all sorted, we can shift over to our oil drilling island. And as you can see, we have got a lot of oil here. We really, really, really want to be maximizing as much of this oil as possible. So we're going to have to be thinking quite strategically. And I personally think having like a bit of a ring around them is probably going to be the most efficient way of doing it. So we're going to stick one over here, another one along here, one more bordering this side, one along here. And what this will now allow us to do is to have a bit of a ring road going on. We're probably going to have to obviously downgrade to some kind of dirt path probably. We'll stick with a large roundabout because of the large vehicles that are going to be having to traverse this area. And we will have one dirt path that comes along this way. Once again, along our beautiful pristine water that we are massively polluting now. And just like that, we've got a nice ring road coming right around our oil industry now. I do think we had some more deposits in this area. We absolutely do. We want to make the most of it. And so once again, I think sticking one over here and bringing it right along our coast will work out really quite nicely. Then we'll just go for one more along here as well. And despite this road leading to all of our ore mining deposits, I suppose we can get ourselves a dirt path that kind of just connects up here for a few of our oil drilling businesses as well. We obviously want to promote interconnectivity in this whole area. Why don't we go a bit of a road connection here so that it's all once again nicely interconnected. So as far as natural deposits go, I think we've basically capitalized upon everything we can on this island. However, there is something known as stone mining, which we can set up literally anywhere to start to produce stone. And I think that is something we're currently in a deficit of. We obviously want to make ourselves self-sufficient, and considering we've got a little bit of a plot kind of here and here, we might as well add a bit of stone mining in. So we're going to go for one plot over here and then another plot that comes right along here. I do also kind of think it makes sense, especially considering we've got like a few little available spaces here and there to have some industrial areas fitted in. So that is exactly what we're going to do now. Just like that, we've got a few plots, one over here, another one over here, one here, well, a few I should say, and then one up here as well, with some industry kind of spawned in, which I think will make a big, big difference to adding a little bit more traffic, a bit more life into this whole area. Now, I very purposefully left this little corner very, very empty. And that is because I see a great opportunity for something to put here. That is a cargo rail terminal that fits perfectly, literally perfectly along here. And that is because I think it's very, very important that we interconnect this whole area, not just by road, but also by train. Very, very similar, if you remember, if we travel all the way along here to our oil industry islands, we've once again got an a cargo train terminal here, which I think is a really good thing that we have here. And I think we should probably try to replicate that over here also. So we're going to drag this track out along here that's just going to sort of shoot out into the distance. But what we're going to do with this road, we've just got a one-way system going on right now. And I think it's going to be quite important for us to have a bit of a turning circle for all of these big trucks and lorries. And just like that, we've got a beautiful parallel road system that loops all the way around here. Perhaps in this area here, we could add certain things for our trucks, such as a few parking lots for them to rest at. But if they're going to rest, they're going to need some shops. So why don't we go for a little bit of commercial here? Maybe we add an office here as well. And I think that probably will end up turning into quite a nice small little community for the truckers if they do want to kind of just rest here for a little bit. They've got their parking spaces. They've got themselves some shops and stuff as well that will spawn in. So that is awesome. We're going to need another roundabout to actually lead onto this area. I've done this loop as if you're living in England, which we're not in this specific map. So we're going to have to rotate all of this round. The directions make a little bit more sense. And so we can connect all of this up just like this. And then what this also allows us to do in this small area is construct a small bus station, because obviously everyone kind of working here are going to need some kind of connection back to their homes. And I think this bus is probably the bare minimum we're going to need to take them back to, well, all of these areas along here where they are living. As well as that, I'm considering maybe adding a railway stop somewhere along here, but we'll get onto that a little bit later. Maybe in this area here, we just spawn in once again a little bit of commercial and a few offices. And I think it would be a really, really good idea if we turned this long strip here into some kind of office space specifically for our industry over here. And so we're going to try to continue this highway as close as we possibly can to the coast, just like this, really hugging and skirting as much of this land as we possibly can, right down to the tip here. The first thing I'm actually going to do is get a very large roundabout, and we're going to stick it literally in the middle of the water here. And we're basically going to get our highway connection here and bring it right along the water line. Once again, promoting connectivity in this whole area, so that if you are in the downtown area and you want to get over to some of these offices along here, or this cargo train terminal, or the rest of these industrial buildings, then you can do so without having to traverse the entire highway on this side. And what I'm actually going to do first things first in this area is get ourselves a bit of a train station. It's not going to be anything too big. We're going to go just for a small train station. And we're going to have this train line skirt along the coastline on the other side, parallel with our highway, until it kind of branches off along this island here, passing through our garbage district, right behind the landfill, before it then reaches another train station. And this train line is then eventually going to lead to basically this island over here, which I think in a future episode coming up quite soon, we're going to saturate with some kind of affordable housing, a poorer area that is going to be feeding this entire industrial area in the long run. And once again, these two train stations we've got, this one here and this one here, are both going to just create some really, really good connectivity into this whole industrial zone, because we're basically going to have probably most of our workers living here, right? And they're going to commute in by train either to this stop or this stop. And then the bus that originates from our bus station here is going to basically traverse this whole area, pick people up from the train stations and take them to their workplaces. So it's kind of like a two-stop commute for the workers. They're going to have to get the train here if they're not driving, and then eventually they're going to have to get the bus as well. But I guess it's better than nothing, and we are still interconnecting everything in a way that works. We just have to connect now pedestrians to this side of the river so they can actually get off the train and get to their workplace. And we're going to do that by providing them with a pedestrian bridge along here. That then means they can walk to wherever they have to work if need be. I guess we could stick a bus stop there as well eventually. And so all we have to do now is just get on with zoning. And so what we've got now is a kind of combination of a bit of industry, but majority offices, got a bit of commercial around our train station that's over here. And then as we continue back down here, we get more office and industry combination. Whoever wants to go to the garbage island from this station, you do also have a little path now that connects up. Obviously, services are still going to be very, very important. So we're going to go for a firehouse, especially considering we've got so much industry here at the moment. And it actually fits so nicely right here. So it's going to go here. And then when it comes to law enforcement, a police station is going to be very important as well. We do have our police headquarters right here, which does connect via this highway into sort of our garbage island and this area here. Now it is connected. So maybe having a police station more in this area makes a bit of sense. Or maybe we do keep it still near this highway kind of connection here. Maybe we just put it right next to our fire station, because that's actually going to provide some really good coverage for this whole area still as well. All we have to do now is hit play and see what happens. And as soon as we hit play, look at that industry demand absolutely disappear, which is completely understandable. We have to fix some of our water pipes and stuff, which we're going to do right now. Just like that, all of our complaints have now disappeared. And oh my goodness, some of these crazy machines now existing, blooming heck, these are huge. These are like bigger than some of my communities we've developed on some of our smaller islands down here. But hopefully this stuff is going to start to make us some sweet cash. It's already making profit, which is really cool. We're still in the green despite us building so much infrastructure this game, including a massive cargo train terminal, which we can actually on paper turn off for the time being. And we can do the same for our train stations considering we're not actually using them right now. But I do think this is already looking really beautiful. All the way from our cargo train terminal here, leading onto our police and fire station and bus station, a little bit of industry at the entrance before we get to our ore mining here, our coal mining over here. We've got loads and loads of potential office space and industry to be spawned into this area. And as we progress over here, we get to our oil drilling. That's all interconnected beautifully by a couple of train stations. That's eventually going to be connected to probably our poorer area over here. That will then lead on to our downtown. We've got a lovely bus network that's going to be coming that will connect all of this working space together. And it's all connected via pedestrian streets to our garbage district along here. And obviously loads and loads of highways also that connects everything once more on an even higher level. And so generally speaking, blooming heck, this has been absolutely a massive development this episode. And I suppose the only thing we have to look at now is our unemployment rate. And as you can see, the more we zoom out, the better of a picture we get as to what we have done recently. As you can see, our unemployment peaked at nearly, well, just over 3,500 people, and now it's dropped down to 2,000. So we've literally just created over 1,500 jobs basically. And we are just going to continue to see this graph drop down, which I think is a very good thing. It's always really rewarding in this game, not just to be creating really cool things, but also to see, I suppose, your decisions affect graphs, because it kind of ends up showing that you're not just creating a pretty city, but you're actually doing something right also, which I think is really cool. And now if we take a look in the production tab, you can see we are in great surplus of oil, a big surplus of metal ore. We're still in a bit of a deficit for coal. However, I'm sure in good time, we will probably develop a little coal mine here or there. And the same can be said for stone as well. We are mining stone right now. However, we are in a deficit, but that will reduce as we start to build a few more kind of stone mines or quarries, I guess you'd call it, in future episodes. But if you do enjoy content like this, you want to see some more City Skylines 2 content, more Vanilla Shores videos, then make sure you hit subscribe so you never miss out on a brand new video. And if you enjoy content like this, then make sure you hit a like, because it makes a world of difference to the channel, and I'll be forever thankful. Thank you so very much, as always, guys, for tuning in to join me as we build and expand Vanilla Shores this episode through our industrial island, through mining and drilling. And I will catch you all again in the next video very soon.